So we're finding our comfortable seat, a nice long spine. Of course, the long spine allows us to open the lungs a little bit easier as well. You can close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths in, just notice how the breath feels. And when I say that, I just kind of mean like, is it warm and fuzzy? Is it short and choppy? For me, I've got some kind of long respiratory thing going on, so it feels a little shallow. You just observe what's going on in your body. If you want to take a couple movements right and left to see how the back is feeling, just starting to create that awareness first thing this morning. All right, settling back in, take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel the air sliding into the nostrils to the back of the throat. And start to control the breath. So we're going to take a little bit deeper inhales right now and nice slow exhales. And that next breath, as you inhale, feel the collarbones expand, then the chest expands, then the belly. And as you exhale, the belly releases, the chest releases, and the collarbones relax. Just allows us to become aware of the depth of the breath. Last one. Yes. And let's take one ear to one shoulder. Extend the opposite arm out like you're trying to grab something off the ground. And we're looking for this stretch kind of from the crown of the head all the way down the arm. Move the wrists in circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch side or switch directions, I should say. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we'll switch sides. So ear to opposite shoulder. And you can always test where the ear is supposed to be by drawing the earlobe down to the shoulder. Extend the opposite arm out. Run a few breaths here. Here's my timer. Good. Remember, this is active, so you're reaching, reaching, reaching with the arm. And 5 directions, or man, hello, 5 circles in one direction, 5 directions. Wow. And switch directions. All right, let's move on to bigger movement, shall we? So draw the head up, roll the shoulders up towards the ears and back for 5, 4, still those nice calming breaths. 3, oh yes, 2, 1, and the opposite direction. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to do this again, but this time as you roll the shoulders up and back, Relax them. Think about releasing any tension. We have a lot of tension in our shoulders, and just drop them down. 2 more. And set right there. Inhale, arms come over the head. And as your arms come forward, I want you to flex your wrist and then just draw them forward right in front of the body. Do it again. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, flex the wrist. Now this time, drag the hands up. Inhale, so we're working with the wrist a lot. And exhale, flex. And inhale, lift. Exhale, flex the wrist in front of the body. Last one, fingertips down. Inhale, lift. And exhale. We got it. Take the right leg in front of the left. And then take both legs away from the hips a little bit. So we're going to do a variation of butterfly. Well, I don't know what this is. This is maybe a variation of half butterfly. But you're lifting up nice and tall, hinge from the hips, and then just hinge forward. We're looking for a gentle stretch in the back of the right glute, the right leg's in front. And let's just stay here for about a minute, all right? Depending on how tight your hips are going to depend on how far low you want to go today. Still maintaining the nice deep breaths. Nice refreshing breaths. Try to relax the feet, relax your legs. Three more breaths here. Inhale to come up. Nice. And then take the feet side by side. You can take them a little bit farther out from the hips and move them just walking them back and forth. Oh, yes. All right, maybe straighten the legs. And we'll prepare for the other side. Did you hear my ankles pop? All right, so come back to that sitting bone sit. And left leg is in front this time. And a lot of times the farther out the legs, the more intensity you'll get when you do forward fold. But just play around with where you want to be today. And again, hinge from the hips. And let's just be still and breathe and stretch for about a minute or so. Try to relax into this as much as possible. 3 more breaths. Inhale to come up, nice and slow, no rush. Oh yes. Straighten the legs out in front just for a moment. And then we're going to go into a straddle. So both legs are out to the side. Lift up onto the sit bones. Oh, you know this one, you love it. We cannot live without it. I can't tell you how many meridian lines and subtle energy lines we're opening up here. So again, if you start to feel any fire, we're going to be here for a couple minutes. Enlightening in the inner thighs or anything, that's your cue to come up, especially underneath the knees. So hinge from the hips, relax the feet. I know you can't really see my feet here, but we want to just kind of relax the feet. Hinging forward, round out the back, drop the head. Think about opening up the back of the neck. And let's enjoy this for a couple minutes. We have these subtle energy lines, hundreds of thousands of them. And they're like water hoses. And sometimes they get kinked up. And yin is really, really great, or yoga in general, really great to help unkink that and keep the energy flowing through the body. Because when the energy gets stagnant or kinked up, it actually comes into elements in different forms in different ways in our body. Pains, organ distress, and I don't mean distress in a bad way, just, for instance, like your spleen maybe isn't producing as much blood as it should. Little examples like that, tummy upset. On a one calm focal point, just be aware of what's going on in the body. Three more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Inhale to rise. Oh yes, the hardest part, closing the legs. Close them like bookends. All right. So we're actually going to bend the knees, bring the knees in close to the chest, and windshield wipers side to side. And we're going to end with the wrist again, all right? If you have tight wrists, this isn't going to be your favorite. That was an evil laugh. Oh, yes. All right, so come back to seated. You have a couple ways that you can do this. You can do this seated, or you can do this in camel pose, which is right here. And you'll get a stretch kind of on the top of the legs and the front, more of the front of the body. It's completely up to you. Some people this just is not comfortable for. All right, so you're in your seat. What we're gonna do, you guys, is just kind of lean forward and take the wrists in towards each other. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit. Now, if you feel comfortable here, you can end up putting more weight on the wrist. All right. And then take the fingers towards your hips. Now you'll notice that if you're not feeling much here, then you push the hips back a little bit. Or if you're sitting on your bum bum, you walk the hands out more. And you can kind of massage side to side. Again, if you have tight wrists, you're not going to have much weight on your wrist. All right. So then from there, come back, fingers forward, take the right hand, the fingertips down, and just gently press down. All right, we're not going to be here long, just a few breaths. I feel all this front part opening up. Oh, yes. And then switch sides. Cool. Notice I have my toes tucked under to work on the bottom of my feet too. That's just an option. All right, bring it out. Come back to seated and just flashlight the wrist. All right, grab your hands, interlock your fingers, and we're just going to move into a figure eight. And switch directions. That's the hardest. I can't even do it. All right. Last thing is the last. Downward facing dog. We're going to end it with a bang. So, tuck the toes, lift the hips, booty comes high, and pedal it out. Meaning bend one knee, straighten the other. Oh yeah. And start to settle into your regular downward facing dog. Now we are going to find a point, a focal point, gently gaze at it for 5 breaths. Imagine the breath running completely through your body, all the way to the heels, to the fingers. Slight grip in the hands. And exhale. Come back to the knees. And have a seat. Oh man. I love downward facing dog in the morning. 2 big breaths. Inhale. As you exhale though, guys, exhale through the mouth. Hands come forward again. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Very nice. And I don't know why, but I want to give myself a big hug. Mainly because it feels good to the shoulders. But of course we deserve it too. All right. I would say y'all are ready for your day. Go conquer it and have the best day ever. Bye, Saskia. Ah, it feels so good. All right, let's do this.